Hey everybody, today we are responding to a video challenge put forth by the Bourbon Note. Now if you are not subscribed to the Bourbon Note, we are going to drop the link to the video in the chat. Now the Bourbon Note put forth a challenge to find 5 whiskeys in these categories. Let's see what they said.
Alright Ben, I think it's time for a list.
Yes, and it's going to be our own list this time.
Our own list?
Yeah.
In fact, it's his list. He came up with the categories. They're crazy, as always, but...
Which will be fun, because we've been called out in other channels to do their lists, and that's always fun when you kind of pass that back and forth between other channels. So I came up with a list that is standout bourbons in 5 different categories. So there's no umbrella category tying them all together.
Okay.
Just came up with 5 random categories, and you have them written down on your phone.
I have them written down on my phone, so I'm going to read them out. Number 1, unpopular opinion. Number 2, a whiskey you changed your mind on. Number 3, a good bourbon you won't buy again. Allocated bottle replacement. And this one is a twofer.
Yep.
Best or worst, or I guess it's and.
Best and worst.
Stats versus price.
Yep.
So what's the best stats versus price and what's the worst?
Okay, so the first category is unpopular opinion. Now it can go either way. What most people like but you don't, or what most people don't like but you do. So for unpopular opinion, I've seen a lot of people have rave reviews over Wilderness Trail that people just love it. But at a bar, I had a bottled and bond and a straight bourbon. And I bought this single barrel pick of a rye that's 106 proof. And I have not had one that I actually enjoyed drinking. And so that's my unpopular opinion, to where it seems like most people like it, but I don't. It just does not hit me as something that I want to reach for and drink. Now for the other unpopular opinions, where it seems like most people don't like it, but I do, is Maker's Mark. There's a lot of hate on Maker's Mark out there in the Whiskey Tube community, to where a lot of people just don't like Maker's Mark, but every single bottle of Maker's that I find, I generally like it. Some of them are much better than others, but Maker's is an absolute go-to for me. And so that's my unpopular opinion of what it seems like a lot of people don't like it, but I absolutely love it. Now when it comes to a whiskey that I changed my mind on, I really thought Bib & Tucker had a really cool look to it. Like, presentation was great, very old school, that brown glass bottle, so it looks like an old vintage bottle. And when I first tried it, I thought it had some great sweet fruit notes and was a good drinkable whiskey. But as time went on, and my palate has of course developed over time, every time I go back and try this bottle again, it tastes like some really medicinal, just unfavorable type flavors, where you're putting cough medicine inside a chewable vitamin, and I just don't dig it anymore. And it's one that when I first opened it, I liked it. And so this is definitely one that I've changed my mind on. Now the next category is one that I thought was really interesting and kind of a difficult category. What is a whiskey that is really good that you will not buy again? Well, the one that I chose for this category is John J. Bowman. And the reason is because I thought it was good. I thought it was good whiskey. But every single barrel of Buffalo Trace that I've had is twice as good and half the price. And so while this is good, I'm going to get a single barrel pick of Buffalo Trace over this every day of the week. Because like I said, it's half the price and it's twice as good. Now this is good, but not doing it again. Now this next category, allocated replacement. I really like that category because there's a lot of whiskey tubers out there that'll say this is a good replacement for this allocated bottle, and they'll just name something that's like kind of in the same proof range or in the same price point for MSRP, of course. But I'm talking flavor profile, what is better? And so when it comes to Booker's, if you have a hard time finding Booker's, I find that the Knob Creek single barrel picks, 120 proof, they're 50 to 60 bucks out the door, and these are actually really good compared to Booker's. And so a great allocated replacement, if you're looking for Booker's, is to get a single barrel pick from Knob Creek. And for the last category, stats versus price, you're talking about value. When it comes to what you're getting out of the bottle, stats versus price, I think one of the best values in whiskey is from Lux Row, the single barrel picks of the Ezra Brooks and the Rebel. When it comes to the cast strength ones or the Distiller's Collection ones, They're single barrel picks that are absolutely fantastic. The Distillers Collection ones are around between 40 and 50 bucks, and the cast strength guys are between 50 and 60 bucks. They punch well above their price point, and they are one of the best values in whiskey. Just don't tell everybody, okay? Now, when it comes to the other side of stats versus price, I'd probably put Blood Oath up there, because they are also from Lux Row, just like Rebel and Ezra, but they are twice the price, and every single barrel pick that I've had from Ezra and Rebel is twice as good as every Blood Oath that I've tried, and this is twice the price. And so it doesn't make sense when you're talking about stats versus price. And so both sides of the category of stats versus price is coming from Lux Row Distillery for me. So big shout out to the Bourbon Note. Thanks for the challenge. I had a lot of fun going through that list. Any of you guys not subscribed to them, go ahead and click on the video description, find a link to their channel, and drop them a sub. Thanks for watching. Earn, protect, enjoy. Cheers.